Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome to, well, this should be a familiar site if you know the map Calmsden Farm, because that's where we are today. This is the first episode of a mini series where we have been shipped off to England to go protect my Uncle Pete's farm. I don't know where Uncle Pete is. All I know is that my mom gave me $3,500 and told me to get my butt over there to maintain Pete's farm, potentially grow it for him, get his debts paid down as far as you can over the next 12 months while he's away. She did say he was sent away, and I don't really know what that means. But I do know that I've got to basically maintain his little crappy corner of Calmsden Farms, and hopefully hand it back to him in a year in a better state than when I got it. He racked up about almost $375,000 in debt. I think it's exactly $374,225, of which that money needs to be paid back. And I guess before he left, he had a buddy stash some equipment of his, so that's good. I don't know why you'd want to stash your equipment off-site, but it was, so we have to go and grab that and get it back to his shed, and then yeah, he sold off everything else. So we're going back to his farm, and we don't have anything. He's got a little sheep pen that we'll see, but there's no sheep in it because he sold all of that. There's no food for any potential animals. There's nothing basically. So we're kind of on our own to figure it out. So Pete does have a few friends in the area, which is great. Some of those guys were willing to, when I spoke to them, were willing to help me out with some things. But being a foreigner here, I'm really left with the $3,500. I don't have. I'm not going to be able to borrow any money from the bank. Obviously, if I'm here on the context of helping Pete out, well, Pete owes everybody money, so that's not going to work. And so I can't take advantage of any of the leasing programs they have locally here. If I wanted to upgrade some equipment, I can't take advantage of any of the borrowing at the banks because, well, they're not going to lend me any money. So talking to the one buddy here who's storing some of Pete's stuff, he knows quite a few other farmers. We're going to go up there first and just start grabbing things because we've got to bring it back to the farm. Oh, crap. I don't drive a tractor at home, so this is a little bit new for me. This thing turns on a dime. Anyways, yeah, he's going to hook me up with some of the locals here who are always hiring for cash, so we can do some jobs for them. The only thing that he said is I gotta have the equipment in order to be able to do the work. So I can't ask the local farmers to use their equipment. I got to use my own. So we're going to be limited for a while here to what we can do until we can build up some cash, I guess. And we're really going to have to balance how much we use to pay down Pete's debt and how much we use to invest in his farm. The one thing that my mom told me was do not, for any reason, sell any of Pete's stuff. So the stuff that we see here is what I need to have at the end. So we have and I've never used this before. So quick caveat. I tried so hard to figure out, and I didn't ask anybody. I probably should have asked somebody, but I tried short of actually looking up the instructions. I tried to figure out how to artificially age this equipment, right, to set it to max damage and maybe needing some serviceability and then make it dirty. But I was unable to do that. So really, let's imagine that this is old beat up equipment, even though that's a nice shiny little baler right there. I've never used this baler, but when you see where we're going and what the context is, this makes sense for now anyways. This is an animal trailer. We'll be able to take 2 sheep and or goats at a time. This is a rinky little bale trailer, of which there are actually a couple of scummy little bales on there. And this is what we're going to put everything into rows after we mow. This is another thing that I've never used. This is a windrower here. So we're not dealing with any massive equipment by any means. Even the mower, I think this is probably the narrowest working width in the game that we could use. So that's what we've got available to us to get this thing rolling, So we're doing some small some small farming here on Calmsden Farms, which I've really been looking forward to. The update came out yesterday, so today it's February. Tomorrow's it's the 13th, I believe. That reminds me, I've got chicken in the fridge I need to cook before it hits the expiration. But yeah, it's the 13th today, so the update hit yesterday. So I did make an attempt to start recording this yesterday and ran into a few issues, and I'm hoping that those aren't some of the rumored issues I heard that came out after the update, like crashing, for example. I didn't experience any game crashes, but I did experience some bizarre invisible collisions, I guess, especially right around here. There's another animal trailer, actually. It's a lizard animal trailer that carries 4 sheep, and when I had that, I could drive through this area no problem until I had that trailer on with sheep in it, and then all of a sudden I couldn't drive that trailer anywhere, especially in this area here. There was like an invisible collision. If you've seen me suffer with the invisible landscaping residuals that have happened after using the smoothing tool on New Frontier, it was like that, but I hadn't done any smoothing. So let's just quickly show you around with what we're dealing with here for old Pete's hole in the wall, and then we'll go and we'll keep bringing the stuff over here because we have some work to do. The buddy there that had the barn where we were stashing everything, I guess, from Pete's creditors or debtors or whatever. He told me of a couple people that need grass mowed on some reasonable sized fields. He says reasonable sized fields, which makes me kind of worry because I don't know what unreasonable sized fields are, and apparently there's a bunch of them here. Anyway, so this is Pete's farm, and probably represents about 3 hours of building in real life, especially with this sheep pen trying to get this put in. But we'll talk about that in a minute. So there's Pete's crappy little. So this is controversial in the area, and God, I should have looked up the name of it. Hey, Jack Sarge Farming, you want to pipe in right now and let me know what the name of the commission is that keeps this local area beautiful and then holds you to a certain standard? Well, I don't know how Pete got away with this for so long. This is disgusting. He really needs to clean this up, but. Anyways, we're gonna live with this as long as we can, and if it becomes too much, we'll get someone to come in and take all this garbage away. But Pete, you're gross. So there's Pete's little mobile home. Got some more crap back here, Pete. You know what? I guess these are sandbags. So my mom did tell me that this area had been prone to flooding, but apparently there was a fix that the community did as far as drainage, so this doesn't flood anymore. But I guess we'll see if that's the actual reality or not. If you watched the second episode of Can I Play Insert Map Name Here on Paligny, you'll remember me walking around saying, "Oh my God, this place is amazing! Like, look, everything looks like a postcard." Well, that's the same thing on this map. This map is amazing too, so I'm excited to be able to play it. Oh, we got a little bit of a fountain water thing here, so we got a little road that heads up here. This is the custom sheep enclosure. I believe it holds about 26 sheep. That is planted grass. So finally I have done what many of you have suggested and asked numerous times, and I have gone and planted grass and put the animal enclosure over top of that. So it's relatively fresh. So we're still in growth stage 2. It was planted in August. So we're still reading 0 meadow grass, but I can only imagine that's going to change as things go. So yeah, we could put 26 animals in here. I am thinking we're just going to go with sheep, but also, I think if we'll do that for now anyways, and then we'll see where we get to. But I like a lot the way this ended up fitting. It took me quite a while to get this to fit. But in the end, I think it worked. The only thing that I wish we had was something in this small scale, but with a little bit of a built-in coverage, whatever that could be. I can place a shed in there, no problem. I did put an oak tree in there. Hopefully the animals can kind of lay under that. But I can put a shelter in there if I needed to. But it'd be cool if there was something built in on this small scale. So anyway, this is a Calmsden sort of mod here. This shed. We're a little limited, obviously, to the placeables that came with the map. But so this is the same one that's up on the hill that you see right there. So I just managed to shoehorn this in here. Got rid of a bunch of trees and stuff, but it took a little bit of landscaping, or should I say a lot of bit of landscaping, to get this to kind of wedge itself into the hill here and not be a problem. But yeah, I really like the way this turned out, actually. Definitely took note on what some people had mentioned, how when I did the Can I Play insert map name here, and on this map, I had placed kind of a red barn shed, whatever, up against that building over there, and had talked about how, how could I work and live in this area. But so a couple people said, look, that probably wouldn't fly. The local commission would say, no, that doesn't fit with what we want in the area, so take it down. So instead, what I did is I opted for a Calmsden shed, and I think it worked really well. I don't believe when you place this, it has a floor, so I went in and added my own floor. A little note on these like slabs. You need to put all this stuff down before you put your shed down, otherwise you're never going to get them in. And yeah, they're a little finicky. And then you can use the move mod to sort of embed them in the ground, and then they look kind of like they had always been there. So and then tons of ground textures and stuff. This area here is quite soft, so this tractor will often, I think I've even sunk down in it now. Yeah, it often gets stuck in here, so that's going to be a bit of a challenge for us, trying to get through there all the time. But that's okay. We're up for the challenge, right? That's part of the adventure for us that will be Calmsden. We're going to need this, so let's just put this outside. I'm not worried about anybody just coming and taking Pete's stuff, but it is a legitimate concern, because we don't know where he owes the money, and we don't know. I know where I have to pay back the money, but we don't know who else he might owe that may want to come and collect. That's what I was trying to say. So that's the sort of loose premise of the challenge. 374,200 and change is what we need to start chipping away at for debt. It would be great to buy stuff, but we do really want to focus on getting that paid down. We want to make Pete's life a little easier when he gets back from wherever it is he was sent. I don't think Pete is part of MI5 or whatever the spy agency is. I don't think he's an elite Navy SEAL. I'm pretty sure Pete is not traveling with the circus. I do think Pete was a gambler, and perhaps he crossed the wrong people, and maybe now he's paying the price. Who knows what that means? But anyways, organized crime exists in small farming communities, I guess the same as it does in big cities. I just hope that this doesn't turn into fighting simulator, because I don't want to have to fight anybody. So 26 sheep at 2 sheep per trip is a lot of trips back and forth to the animal store. So that's gonna be a bit of a challenge for us, getting the sheep up to speed. But that's okay. I mean, the drives around here are beautiful. The countryside is amazing, and every road is bumpy. There's the cars. So far, I think I've really only seen red cars go by. I wouldn't say they're aggressive, but they definitely like to hold the middle of the road. So it's up to us to go around them, which is fine. We're polite Canadians over here, helping out my corrupt Uncle Pete. So that's fine. I guess I didn't really show you what we actually have for property here, did I? Let's do that on this trip. So I don't know whether we're going to get a chance to go buy any sheep. Oh god, that's so rough. That's just going to get worse and worse. There's no surprises in here. Everything is everything we own or Pete owns is over at that other yard. So we'll be working to go get all that. This old Landini really turns on a dime. So this is a 2-wheel drive, 80 horsepower tractor. So obviously that's going to create some limitations for us. That should help add to the wacky adventure. So we own this piece of land that I've built on, which stretches around the corner here. So we have this hill. not going to be the easiest hill to work with. But the nice thing about our setup is we have a small tractor, a small mower, and then we come in with a small windrow, and then we have a baler, of which we're going to be hand bombing bales, folks. Oh, help me. Each bale is like 40 kilograms, I think. So that's enough for us to be able to pick up. So we'll be hand bombing bales until such a time when we can, think about investing in something, one of those mergers or whatever that pick up those little bales. But that's it. I've avoided bales for a long time in game. Actually, I was just having this conversation in the comment section on the channel in regards to bales and personal preference and that. But I believe it's been. I think I was. I don't want to say cursed or poisoned by, but I was definitely blessed with the art of the fermenting silo back on the 200 horsepower challenge on Calmlands, where at any given time I had 2 to 3 to 5, I think even at one point 10 million liters of grass and silage in those fermenting silos. It was crazy. We made a fortune on easy economy too, at like $700 per 1,000 liters. I made so much money on that map playing like that. And really since then, I've had a hard time going back to bales. I often end up with fermenting silos. So in this region on Calmsden Farms and in this area, whatever, the local Keep It Beautiful coalition, hey Jack Sarge, what was it called again? They are quite strict and have a number of bylaws that we need to adhere to. One of them is we cannot put up. I can get a permit for if we need to put up a silo for storage. I have to work with them on design, size, capacity, placement, all that kind of stuff. Strictly for storage, it is not possible for me to put up a fermenting silo. They don't want that kind of technology in their community. Another one of the bylaws that we need to work with. I did mention their whole goal, that whole division of the community's goal is to keep the area beautified. So they're very strict on the cutting down of trees and forestry activities. So I can get a permit to cut a tree down on my land if it poses a danger. So for example, if it looks like it's going to take out a power line or something like that. Am I going to fit in here? Just kind of sliding it in there, I guess. I can cut down a tree if I'm going to be so for example, if part of my permit to put in a silo for storage is a request to cut a tree down to make room, well then they could approve that. But I can't just wholesale cut trees down to make money on my land. There are some areas available are currently being harvested in a responsible way. There are sort of forestry, some companies in the area here where it's sort of where we buy our lumber and that to build. At some point, maybe something like that will come up for sale, and we'll be in a position to buy that. But I just don't see that happening in over 12 months. 12 months is not a lot of time to become to get established, and in our case, not just established, but we need to overcome some debt and really some small equipment and stuff too. We have to overcome our size deficiency. But I think what they say, it's not the size of the mower, it's how you actually get it around the field, right? This little tractor is a treat to drive around these roads. I'm quite enjoying this, but we do have to hurry because it is now 10 o'clock and we have potentially, so I think if they haven't received help already, Buddy here who told us about those farmers that need mowing, I want to say that he said we could make around $6,000. There's 3 specific fields that need mowing, and he thought that they were willing to pay upwards of a combined $6,000 or so. So that would really take our $3,500 that I was handed to get this thing rolling. That would really help us there. Unfortunately, I don't really have any way of benefiting personally from this. This is an an exercise in family and family responsibilities. Not those kind of family responsibilities, but the kind where when you get the call from your mother and she says you need to go help out your Uncle Pete, then you just do that, right? So this I'm getting paid in the satisfaction of knowing that I'm doing something good for my family. Anyways, maybe by the end of this, if I can reduce the debt and maybe put a couple bucks in Pete's bank account, then maybe he'll buy me something, or who knows. I guess unfortunately for me in this scenario, Pete never had any kids, so I don't have any cousins there, and nobody else to lean on to keep this property maintained. So it's just me. All right, the very last piece, and then we'll hop online there and see. So there's a community page where all of the farmers will post their jobs, so we can pop on there and have a look. I will need introductions from Pete's buddy up here, because he said they're very leery of allowing outsiders to do any work. But because he this is I think Pete and this guy served in the war together, so they have a pretty good bond. But anyways, he with his intro, I'll be able to do some of this work. So, all right, I guess this thing could rest on its wheels, or just pick it up. We'll just pick it up. Yeah, like if that was a grass field right there and we had to mow it, I think that would be the end of us. That's a massive field. And there are some big fields in the area. I remember looking on Google Maps when I was flying over, and it was there's some big fields in the area. So we'll do our best to try to avoid anything too big, I think. But if we want to be seen as helpful and we want people to start calling us instead of us having to call them, then we'll probably have to sacrifice here or there and do one of these big fields. But anyways, there's a robust local used equipment dealer who is scouring the neighboring counties for good deals. Apparently, at any given time, he'll be buying overstock material like seeds, that kind of stuff, so you can get a good deal there. He'll be looking for any kind of equipment where he knows he can make a couple bucks, but in turn we'll be saving a couple bucks. That's what they look for. So Pete's buddy told me, definitely, if you're gonna need anything, keep an eye on that. Try not to buy anything off the curb. Meaning, if you see a farmer who's got something for sale, maybe just try to avoid it, because it's probably not in the best shape. And he said, as nice as everybody is here, it's not easy to make money, and everybody's going to be out to take your money. So let's we'll try to keep our purchases to the store and the used market there. But currently, we're not looking for anything, because we need to make some money first. I've only got $3,500, and I want to get some animals. So let's hop online and see what we have available to us in mowing. All right, super quickly, here's the community bulletin board, grouped nicely by type of contract available, and very specific. So yeah, if we can, stuff like if we can invest in some equipment, we can make some money. There's some smallish fields there for bale wrapping, so we could do stuff like that. This is a round baling contract. We can keep our eyes open, because if there's a square baling contract, we have a square baler. It's very slow, and it spits out a ton of bales. But as long as those bales are square, then we're okay, I think. It doesn't ever say. It just says, press round bales. It doesn't say, I don't think there's a specific size that the bales have to be. But anyways, 54 acres. Here we go. All right, dead wood. We don't have any way to transport wood right now, especially the size of logs I think that we'd need to transport. We don't have a fertilizer spreader. We don't obviously have a harvester. And I'm thinking at this time of year, these are all the oddball stuff. But here's the mowing contracts. Oh, there's a 30-acre field we could mow if we really didn't like ourselves. There's a 5-acre field we could mow. That might be the kiss of death, but we could go check that out at some point. But here's the smaller ones that Buddy was talking about. So there's one just right immediately up the hill from us. This one here is also right up the hill from us, and that is right down the street from us. Okay, so you know what? That's good news. So let's take the one at the top of the hill first, and we will see what that's all about. So let's see if this mower works. You know, it's imaginarily old and beat up because Pete's used it forever here on his little hole in the wall, but you know, it'll do the trick hopefully, but we'll find out in a second. All right, so we'll just head up the hill. I think we'll be doing this often. It should be right back here. All right, the one quirk with these fields, it's not easy to tell where the field starts and where the field stops. So what I found with that is you kind of have to feel your way around when it comes to this. Yeah, like I can turn the little mini map on, but it doesn't tell us enough. So basically we're just going to drop the mower and figure out where the edge of the field starts. There it is. So we'll get going around, and then I can always, once I've got the area mode, I can always go and kind of fine tune it. But yeah, there we go. This has been a long time coming. We are mowing grass on Calmsden, which I think is a pretty common activity on Calmsden. Oh yeah, look at this. See it right now. I'm not on the field. And maybe if not a common activity here on Calmsden, it's going to be a common activity for us. We will be doing a lot of this, I think. Of which I probably should work towards investing in a larger mower. And maybe sooner than later. Oh, look at that. That field just ended way back there. Oh, no, and it continues over here. So the field must have curved a little bit. We're really discovering the field. So I probably could have put on the GPS lines, but you know what? That just doesn't seem appropriate for what we're working with here. I don't think old Pete invested in a GPS system for his Landini. Pete's buddy there, where we picked up the equipment when I was chatting, was sort of, I think he was making fun of me, to be honest, because he said, "How much money you got, kid?" And I told him I had $3,500. But he did joke and tell me that this farm was for sale. So imagine we in the next 12 months manage to build ourselves enough of a standing here in the community that Pete comes back from wherever it is he was, and we managed to put ourselves in a position to buy this farm, and then we leave Pete behind and start our own lives here on Calmsden. That's not out of the question. If the gameplay is as enjoyable as I think it's going to be, then maybe that's something that we do. But I don't want to hold that out as hope, because there are some other there's another series that I want to get rolling. Once I get some feedback from y'all, to be determined, or probably already determined by the time you see this. But I want to. So I'm thinking mini series here gets us a good taste of the local flavor. And then we can keep ourselves open for some other stuff. That's the hard part when you're making content is you kind of want to eventually make some kind of content on everything, because all the maps are awesome. You know, if I was just playing for my own enjoyment, then well, sorry, I should rephrase that. I am playing for my own enjoyment, otherwise I wouldn't be doing this. But if I was not recording and posting and uploading and interacting with you guys and all that stuff, then likely I'd be playing 10 different maps. Or what I would probably do, and what I always did, is I would get to the point that you often see me get to, right? Like on New Frontier right now, I probably wouldn't have made it as far on New Frontier as I have, because the initial build is always super fun, and you know, getting things planted and getting your equipment built up and all that kind of stuff. But there comes a point where I usually eject, and that's when you've got everything planted and you know, you've done all that work. I would, when playing on my own, I would typically just abort the mission at that point and never get to the harvest. I don't know why. I think I mentioned that before. Like when I played before uploading, I'd never get a chance to harvest my own crops because I'd always be on to the next build. You know, you'd see some other map that looks like super fun, it's very detailed or whatever, and you would just jump ship and head over there. So now I'm sort of forced to follow through, because I'll tell you what, if I was watching somebody's content and they only ever got to a certain point and then just kept ejecting and the story never pushed on, then I don't know how exciting that would be. All right, I'm gonna throw on some tunes. I think I'm gonna hammer away here, and we will. I think we'll pick this up at the next field. I will see you momentarily. All right, we're on our way to the next field. So David, the farmer up there at the top of the hill, he didn't have the cash on him right now, so we're gonna pop back up there after. But we're gonna go hit this. There's a nice old farmer named Walter who has got a field just up the hill past our house here, so we're gonna go up there. This hill could be tricky in the winter, I think. I don't know how much driving around we'll be doing in the winter though. Figures we gotta be here during a winter, right? Yeah, so we've got a little over 2 acres, or a little under 2 acres here, owned by Walter. So similar scenario to the last one. Let's figure out where the field is. All right, I think it's safe to say there's the edge. So I guess if I owned this field, I would probably be mowing a combination of my field grass and my map grass. 'Cause I'd have a hard time knowing I have all this land available, but no grass on it or whatever. Like I'd be expanding the field, I guess. I know that you would probably. Well, it's hills. Here we go. Our first hill challenge. I know you would want to keep the field off the fences and stuff, but in real life you would take this probably up as close to the wall or fence or hedges or whatever, as close as you could, just to maximize your potential, obviously. But in Farming Simulator we try to stay away from things like that, so that way our implements don't have any problems. Well, yeah, this ain't a bad way to spend a day. We're going to make some money. We're going to make some friends. Our equipment's going to actually look like it's used like it's supposed to, because now it's going to be dirty. Life is good. And then, so I think, this series will consist of a lot of stuff like this. Just regular old, farm activities. The contract pool is going to allow us to experience some different things as we maybe build up some equipment. It'd be nice to get a little harvester, and then when it's harvest season, if we get contracted to do some harvesting, then we can get out there and do that. Small equipment obviously is going to take us longer than if we could borrow the equipment from the farmers, but you know what, this is not about speed. This is about handing the keys back to Pete in a better position than when he left. Really is all this comes down to. My mom will be happy, Pete will be happy, and I'll go home satisfied knowing I did a good job. Oops, missed a spot already. We'll come back for that. If Walter's watching, Walter, don't worry, I won't leave that. Well, once I sort of dropped you guys there for a minute in the other field, I called up to the animal dealer to see what the deal was, and it looks like, oh God, I'm bad with remembering numbers, but I think we should be able to get ourselves a handful of I think 3-month-old sheep. It would be relatively inexpensive, is what they said. But what does that even mean to get ourselves started? So. I think before the day is done, it'd be nice to get up there and grab a few animals. We're going to need a way to get them water, so that's one thing that I did notice Pete did not have, was a way to put water into that pen. But if we can get some grass Well, we have a few bales actually. We've got a few hay bales on our bale trailer there, so we can just throw those in there. But we will get mowed up. I can feed them. The dealer said I can feed them either hay or grass, and they're good either way, so that's good. We won't take the time to create the hay bales. We'll just stick with the grass. Yeah, so we can get things started. I do hope that the dealer there has an inexpensive way of us for transporting water. There's a water pump we have there on the property. There's also a pond just on the other side of the back gate. So if we needed to kind of dip our toes in there, we could. Actually, dip our toes. Apparently, that's where Pete's been showering. So the neighbor came over and told me, please don't shower in their pond, because that's what Pete always did, and they'd get mad. So I guess realistically, melting down a $374,000 debt in the span of 1 year, only being able to do contracts and farm our little piece of land there, short of having more land. The reality is, how much are we going to be able to put a dent in that, and still maybe upgrade some equipment or whatever. It would be nice if we could put a small dent in it, but it would also be nice if, while putting a small dent in it, we could grab another piece of land for Pete and expand his potential, because there is another grass field. There is another grass field right on the other side of his, like right at the back of the second field that we have. So if we were able to kind of work a deal out with, I believe it's owned by David right now, the guy we just did the job for. So if we keep doing good jobs for him, he's got a spot in his heart, he said, for old Pete. Pete helped him out with some stuff when he had trouble. So, if we could work a deal out with him and buy that piece of land, that'd be cool. That would further open up the possibility of creating things like bales, maybe being able to sell them into the local market, that kind of stuff. But we just got to look for ways to make money, you know what I'm saying? Alright, we're just getting finished up here for old Walter. I gotta be careful not to miss a spot, because I do want to be invited back to help him again. So I'm trying to make sure that whatever little areas that I missed. He told me, don't worry if it's not perfect, but I mean, come on, man. He's paying me money, so let's get this done. This hill has proven to be a bit of a challenge for the tractor. The Landini at 80 horsepower is, if we had to pull something, I think the fact that this mower sort of floats over the ground helps. If we had to pull a trailer or a baler up this hill, then we might have an issue. We'd be going side hill all the time, I think, which would be an issue for us if the rows were up and down. I guess we'll have to look at that kind of stuff before we accept contracts, because it could be very hard to. Well, we could just pull the trailer down the hill, I guess. Let's get this last strip here for Walter. Walter was telling me that his family's been in this area for 8 generations. So I don't think we'll be buying any of Walter's land anytime soon. Alright, we'd be jamming there. Walter said he'd send me an e-transfer. Oh, and there it just came through. $2,500. Thank you, Walter. Let's shut his gate for him. Nice man. Alright, so down the hill and around the corner, we're off to Grandma's house. Or is another field for us. Let's head down there and take a look at it. We gotta remember to go get our money from David, and then yeah, we might still have enough time to go grab some of those sheep. Again, we do have to find a way to put water into our into their enclosure, but I don't know. We'll see. I guess I can go to the store. We should check the store. Maybe they got something. You know what? We'll get into this field here and we'll go on their website and just see if they got anything. Apparently, it's the last one past the town line here. I guess we'll just pull on this field for a second. All right, so there it is. Ben has a field. Oh, Ben's got... Oh, Walter, look at you. Walter's got the big field there, but Ben has a couple fields. I don't know. This one just sounds painful. 5 acres. So one of the things we can do, Pete's buddy was telling me, there's a bunch of local kids that if we thought we wanted to share the wealth, I guess as he put it, we could probably grab some of these kids to do some of the work for us at times. There's the field edge here. But we're going to try to do as much of the work as ourselves as we can. There it is. Like, where the hell's the field edge? But if word gets around that our work is good, then you know, we might end up with more than we can handle at some point here. And really, if the goal is to get Pete in a better situation when he gets back from his wherever he is, rehab maybe, recovering from surgery, I don't know. You tell me where you think Pete went, and then maybe we'll run with that. But yeah, so I mean, if the name of the game is volume when it comes to some of this work, we just have to. Our problem is we're gonna have to have. Yeah, I guess that's where we're gonna be limited. We can't do multiple jobs if we only have one tractor, one mower, that kind of thing. So we're really gonna have to. If we get to the point where we're ever blessed with a second mower or a second tractor or anything like that, then obviously we can get some people to kind of help us multitask, but it's going to be difficult when we're limited by what we have for equipment. I mean, if these farmers won't lend me their tractors, they certainly aren't going to be excited with some snot-nosed punk kid running their tractor around, right? Just trying to make sure that I actually did get the edge of the field. Discovering these fields is going to be a little bit annoying. I noticed that Pete's got loader arms. He's got the mount for the loader on this, but I didn't find any loader arms anywhere. So I guess at some point, if we wanted to get some arms, we could. I don't think there's a sort of a native arm for this tractor or a specific small arm. Both Hauer and Quickie have arms for smaller tractors, but they just always still seem so bulky. Like they look like they're out of proportion with what you actually have them on. So with this series, any input would be amazing. We're really just like, so before you provide any input though, everything's going to be manual. I won't be putting any bulk purchase. The local council would never approve a bulk purchase on our property, so we'll be specific. And I think some of that is just to keep traffic at the store. They want you to buy all your shit at the store. So there'll be none of that. I won't be, there'll be no auto load or anything like that. We'll have, I've only got available to me so much. Like I noticed, so we don't have a field to plant. Right now we have obviously the grass that's planted in the sheep enclosure, but I can't get in there. There's no gate or anything. So I think the sheep just will have to eat it and love it and beyond what I did when I planted that. I plowed it, I put lime down, I spread manure, I put seeds and fertilizer in, and then I rolled it. So I think we were at like 97% yield bonus for that. Obviously, once those animals start eating the grass down there, the fertilized state will probably reduce. The grass won't be as good, I guess, over time, but it should be good enough for us for the next year anyways, and then Pete can figure out what he wants to do after that. But yeah, we won't be going into that grass with a roller, or if there was a way to spread fertilizer by hand, then perhaps we could lift something over the fence and jump in and then do that. So I would be open to doing something like that, just to get a better yield as those beasts eat down the grass, I guess. If that's even how it works, maybe when you're planting a field for animals like that you just leave them and then nothing, it just stays the same. I don't know how that works, but I guess we'll find out. But yeah, any input, I'd love to know your thoughts. Maybe where, I mean, you guys are always good to tell me where you've built fields and stuff like that. So let me know where you started your farm. Also, maybe what did you think of the build there where for Pete's hole in the wall? Yeah, it was I'm happy with it for what I need on this series. The shed was a little large for my liking, but out of the sheds that were available, it seemed to be well, for what I had available for space, a good fit, and then easy access to the equipment that we put in there. There's another shed that has a sort of small door, like chemical storage on one end, and then the main shed, but it just has one door, and then you got to kind of try to get things in this sort of long, skinny storage area, which looked a little challenging, but anyways. All right, we're just wrapping up here. Oh, you guys just missed Ben. Ben popped by to make sure that I was actually doing a good job. Not a lot of trust there. I think Ben's had some issues in the past with people, but yeah, he was very happy with the job that we're doing here, so that's fantastic. He did mention that if I wanted to pop up the hill to go look at his other piece of land, that he'd be happy to pay me to do that after seeing the job that I did here. But he did say go look at it first and see if it's something you want to do with the equipment that you have. We can go look at that. I mean, it's only 12:30. If it looks reasonable and something that we think we can do, then we'll do that, and then we'll go get we'll go pick up some animals. But I could definitely use the money, obviously. Oh, and there's Ben's $1,300 just came through for this field, so that's good. Gotta get David on e-transfer. Cash, hey? Okay, so that's done. So let's go up and look at Ben's other field. It's just up past where we store, where Pete had his equipment hidden. And then we'll make a decision on that field. It's going to pay over $6,000, which would be, like right now, I think, actually, let's go pop into David on the way and see if he's got the cash. Because with David's cash, I think that gets us to almost 10 grand. And then if we had 6 grand from Ben on this other field, then yeah, we'd have $16,000 is going to get us a bunch of sheep. The plan with the sheep is basically just to sell the wool. So okay, let me go run and see if I can find David. Okay, there's $2,300 from David. He was just milking a pig. All right, let's head over here. I don't know. I'm not sure about this next one. I don't know that we're going to be able to handle the size of field, but out of respect for Ben there and potentially securing future work and maybe the odd bit of help from him for certain things, then I think we got to kind of. Sometimes you got to sacrifice a little bit, right? As long as it's not sacrificing your own sanity. Yeah, see, these cars don't make any concession for me at all. They just expect me to move out of the way. It's fine, I don't mind doing it, but like, come on, guys. Be fair, you know what I'm saying? Okay, so this should be the road here. Oh. Okay, yeah, when I get on GPS here, it's this field at the end, so that is where we need to go. So let's open this gate. Man, I think our small equipment is the way to go here in this area. There's a lot of little tight squeezes, it looks like. This is nice. Oh my god, look at that field. Don't look at that field. That's a big field. Alright, where's this grass field start? I'm guessing we're probably getting close, if not already there. I'm looking for a gate, really, but I'm not seeing a gate. This has got to be the grass field. Yeah. Okay, well, I mean, ouch. That's not going to be fast. But I kind of feel like we have to do it. And we got to find a way in, too. All right, you know what? Let me find a way in. I'll get on the phone with Ben. I'll tell him that reluctantly I'm going to do it. I want to make sure I get a little mileage out of this. While I appreciate him paying me to do the work, that is also a substantial job for the equipment that I have. There's absolutely no way in off this road, so we went the wrong way, I guess. But yeah, I'll get on the phone with him. I'll get that thing started, and then we'll check back here with what kind of pain it's how the pain's going, and then because I do want to go and get some animals before we're done here. So that is also not a gate. Yeah, okay. So this was the wrong way to go. So we're effectively just trespassing here because we had no business being up there. Sorry. All right, I will see you guys soon. Hopefully soon. Okay, I am not gonna lie. I am really looking forward to getting out of this field. I mean, there's all. We have likely earned some massive brownie points with Ben today. Oh God! But if all that does is result in more work, then I don't know. Did we win anything? Man, this has been a field and a half. So I started this at about 1 o'clock in game. And we're at almost 2:30 now, so it's been a bit of a hike. We're gonna have to get some fuel at some point. Actually, no, we should be okay. But it's literally just been back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. The odd little spot is missed, but we'll see. We'll see what happens when we get this chunk done. Whether or not Ben's happy with our work, and if he is, it's actually $6,900. That's what he'll pay me for this, which is fantastic. So that'll put us to about 15. Well, for sure, it's about $7,000. So it'll put us at $16,000 after the day. So we started with $3,500. So it'll be a good chunk of change that we would have earned today with our little tractor and our little mower, literally just mowing grass. You can see how those little kids get rich going door to door, charging $20 to mow your lawn. It's a volume thing, right? You just keep going. I got a little wonky over here. Gotta stop reading text messages while I'm driving my tractor. Well, I'm driving Pete's tractor anyways, but yeah. So as soon as this is done, we will collect, and then we still have time. The animal shop is going to still be open, which is good. You know, we'll so I think first what we'll do so we don't overspend, I got to get a solution for water. We're going to need a way to put water into their area. Whatever. We may end up with the same thing that we used on New Frontier, which was that kind of chrome ball that you hold onto and then dump the water. I just don't know whether this tractor will be able to handle it because that thing holds 2,000 liters. I think it's a $1,500 implement, and I believe it's 2,000 liters because I remember the Z-Door having a hard time staying on its wheels. Staying on all four wheels when we had that water tank loaded. So we'll see what we get to. The question is going to be when we get this final couple passes done, how much around the outside I still need to do, because I'm seeing we're at 94% completion. My guess is I didn't quite get enough around the outside, so we'll have to do a lap or two to see. 94% still. Should that not be changing? 95%, okay. I'm starting to get a little... Sometimes you get a little nervous that maybe things are broken. Oh crap, I just... all that, and I just missed this last piece. So we got a couple little patches in the middle, but let's go around the outside first. Yeah, okay, so there definitely was another pass around here. I wasn't sure. So getting into this field was kind of funny. Like, so you see one gate ahead. Well, it says we're done there, so that's good. We'll just finish this pass and then we'll be done. All right, Ben will be happy with that. But yes, so if you look, we actually have to kind of go through this horse training area here. I told him I'd shut all the gates again. All right, so we just sneak around the outside. I had to call Ben to ask him how we get into this field, and he's like, "Yeah, just don't hit any of the horse stuff." I'm like, "Of course I'm not gonna hit the horse stuff, man." So I guess a lot of the farmers in this area, because of the way these fields are, fenced and gated, they really have to work together because often you have to access a field through somebody else's field. I wanted to avoid that. That just looked dirty there. All right, I believe one of these is Ben's house. I think Ben has a pool. I can't see from a distance. Oh, there's Ben there. All right, man. So I got the job done. So give me my money. Okay, thank you. $6,973. I will take that, and please let me know if you need anything else done, okay? Okay, thank you, man. There we go. Yeah, he lives in a pretty posh area here. Let's get out of there before he gives us some other massive job. Let's get our dirty old tractor out of here. All right, so let's go put the mower down just to get it off the back of the tractor here, give it a bit of a rest. We'll grab the animal transport and we'll head over to the... Well, actually, sorry, no, I said we're going to check the store quickly to see what's available for water, a water container. And then, man, that'll be a long day. So we basically flew from Canada to Great Britain. We hopped an Uber from the airport to this quaint little countryside dealership where we picked this tractor up. We managed to rehome all of Pete's stuff that he hid at his buddy's place for some strange reason. We don't know why yet, or maybe we'll never know. It'll just be part of the lore. And then, do I have room in there? You know what, let's, rather than just jamming everything in there, let's put this over here. We've now mowed 4 fields. I honestly thought I'd get through the first 3. I didn't think I'd do the 4th one, but Ben was pretty adamant that he needed that done, so we're nothing if not helpful. All right, I feel like I should probably shut these. We're gonna have to get our own property. Oh wait, I need the trailer. There it is. We're probably gonna have to get our own field mowed up, but that might be in episode 2. Thankfully, there's no difference when it comes to sheep and goats, whether you feed them hay or grass. So that's good. Well, man, as soon as you stop, you sink here. We'll test that again later when I don't mind getting stuck, but like, oh, look at this. We are not having an easy time getting through this. That little trailer is just getting beaten up. Oh, okay, so the animal dealer is this way. Okay, I think I can see the animal dealer up there on the horizon. Shoot, I did say, so before we make any deals there, we're gonna we should just pull over here before we even get in there. Yeah. Let me just pull over. Okay, let's go online and see what's available. All right, so here's the used equipment website. As you can see, they also have discontinued, overstocked, and return orders for sale. There's a silage bale. Oh my god, look at all this stuff. This is going to be the death of me looking every time. Like that's a good deal. This thing's half price. Holds 6,000 liters, and it's a reasonable price, but that's going to take a big chunk of our money. But I guess we do have to consider that we're going to need to spend some money. Wait. Oh, that's one bale of wheat. Sometimes if you'll see these in here and you'll realize that it's actually a block of like 10 of them or something. This is twice the working width of what we have right now. It's the maximum horsepower that we have, but that would double our productivity because we could cut twice as wide. That should be a priority, is trying to find a bigger mower, but anyways. I can't put water in that. That would be good if I could. We just have to make sure it was washed out really well. Road salt. Can you imagine putting salt down in a community like this? Oh, this would be nice, but we're obviously not going to buy that. We won't be planting any trees. Well, eventually we can work with the town. Maybe they'll allow us to plant some trees with the idea that we're going to want to take them down at some point. That's a large tractor loader arms. We should keep our eyes open for a small tractor loader arms. There was probably some up above and I missed them. Fertilizer and lime, $65. I bet you this is more than one. No, 88%. They're only... Oh, it's 5. 5 bags. I bet you I could even take these and sell these. What is that? I don't even know what this is. Is it fertilizer and lime? Oh, it's lime. Okay. Well, we don't have a field, so... But I bet you I could take those and resell them. I don't know if I can sell lime anywhere in the area. Yeah, that's overkill for us. And too much money. Vegetable pallet. Okay, I gotta keep my eyes on the prize here. I'm looking for a liquid container, not anything else. Stop browsing. This guy's got some selection. There's a bucket, but I think I can only take like grain and stuff. Yeah, look, there's 7,000 liters of hay. That would take us forever to get home, but it's only $1,000. I guess that's not really worth it because that... oh, sorry, no, there's 30... So currently the price of hay is at $50 per 1,000 liters. So we'd make about $500 if we bought that. But anyways, we're not going to. All right, so it doesn't look like there's any great option. All right, without any great option, I think we go as inexpensive as possible and we buy this $1,500 chrome ball. All right, so that's sitting at the store for us. So let's grab ourselves a couple sheep. We'll take them back to our house. We'll go pick up the ball for the water. And then we can kind of run a couple more runs over here for sheep. All right, we want something nice and bright. So let's get a couple of the 8-month-olds here. So every 2 is like $1,000. So we could actually get a few sheep here, which is good. Hello. Don't worry, you can trust me. I'm going to take you to your new home. Those are not trusting eyes. This might be my new favorite thing in the game. Look at these guys. Come on, guys, let's go. You guys, everything's going to be all right, man. Don't worry. We're going to get there. I know. Keep my eyes on the road. I gotcha. There's this same hill going down that I figured would be rough in the winter. I bet you going down it's going to be rough in the winter, too. All right, our passengers are probably had enough of this, so let's just get them back in here. Yeah, they look impressed. Let's go throw these bales in there quickly. Yeah, what are these things? These are 35 kilograms. Oops. I changed the default from 200 kilogram minimum pickup to 100. So that's the max we can... oh, look. Oh, they're running. Sorry, girls. They're a little bit hungry. Yeah, so I changed the max to something more realistic. 200 kilograms just seems like a little bit unrealistic when it comes to what you can pick up. Each one of these bales, though, is 600 liters, which is pretty good. Although I'm pretty sure they'll burn through them quickly. All right, we're going to get the last one in here. Then I got to go pick up that thing so we can put some water in there. And we'll head over to the store to get the water. Man, a little bit of driving around here. Nothing is local, which is awesome. But maybe we can work a deal out eventually where the store will just drop stuff off to us. But I don't think that's going to happen. All right, just over the last hill here, and we're back to the store. A store of which, if you look up Calmsden Farm on Google Maps, you'll find it. And you'll find that the road layout is basically the same as what is here. This is basically the exact replica of what you'll find in that same area. That name of that area, I apologize, but it's I don't know. I couldn't pronounce it when I saw it. But there's an area in the UK where Calmsden Farm and this store are located. But anyways, yeah, if you look it up, you'll see that it's basically a recreation of exactly what you see there. Oh, here we go. I'll move out of the way, don't worry. I'm starting to get used to that. So I think this is a pretty successful first day here in town, so to speak. Throughout this episode, I've determined the name of the series will be called Saving Uncle Pete. I can't get more specific than that. So the you'll likely already have known that because that's what the title on the video and the logo on the thumbnail and everything will be basically for that. But yes, this series is now affectionately known as Saving Uncle Pete. Saving him from what? Well, you know what? Maybe from himself. Who knows? Oh, everybody needs a little saving from themselves now and then, right? Maybe that's just what Uncle Pete needed. But we may never know. That's just part of the lore of the series, I guess. We'll come up with lots of different reasons of why Pete took off over this series. I can tell you that much. Now, what is a mini series? Well, if we're really going to run this over 12 months and see how far we get, and typically I would run maybe an episode per month, then that would make 12 episodes. Possibly in the wintertime, we may skip a couple months and maybe double up in 1 month. I don't know. I can anticipate probably something like 8 to 10 episodes is my guess, and if I got that to that point, I'd be happy. I have an idea of there's going to be so many good maps coming out, and much like yourselves, I imagine a lot of you will want to play different maps, often enough. So variety is the spice of life, as they say. So that's the same for me, right? So I have a hard time playing a lot of, like, the Survive 25 series to me just seems impossible. But I'm gonna plug away at it. I don't need to shut that yet. I'm gonna plug away at it and see if we can actually play it off and on from now until whatever the next FS is. But yeah, so I think if we can put in 8 to 10 episodes here, see how far we get until old Pete comes back from wherever it is Pete is. Hopefully he lets us know when he comes back where he's been. Then, that's probably reasonable. What am I doing here? Watching for the rear suspension to drop and the front wheels to lift off the ground. Oh, you can see it. Oh, don't tip. Okay, we are at, like, if I put it in reverse... it's like a tractor pull. If I put it in reverse and hit the brakes, we're doing a wheelie for sure. That's not what I'm trying to do right now. Okay, don't tell my Uncle Pete that I was doing wheelies in his tractor. Alright, we're driving in the grass. There you go. That's totally doable. You can see why we need small equipment because of stuff like this. They are happy. Oh, and that's it. This takes 1,500 liters. So here, let's just get this a little closer. Or sorry, yeah, because there's 2,000 liters in there, right? So if I can get my hands on a small trailer instead of that thing, then we will do that instead. This thing's great, but I think I'd rather use a trailer, to be honest with you. Just at the moment, I'd have to spend, I think it was like $5,000 or $6,000 to basically carry the same amount of water as that thing costs for $1,500 for. That math doesn't make sense to me. I'm pretty sure it doesn't make sense to any of you guys either. I think the pair of sheep cost us like $1,000. So if we wanted all sheep of that size, if we spent 10 grand, we'd have 20 sheep, I guess is maybe the math. But I don't know that we want to spend that much yet. I don't have anything that I want to buy. I'm assuming that, well, okay, sorry, that's not true. I mean, I think what we'll do is when we wake up on day 2, second episode, whatever, It will be in September. I think we're gonna have to, like, September and October are probably going to be one episode per day because I have it set to 2 days per month, I think. So, but then obviously when we get into like the winter months, then we may just skip January and February altogether, to be honest with you. But let's go grab a couple more animals. We'll feed a couple more into the thing before we bid ourselves farewell and move on to episode 2 of Saving Uncle Pete from whatever. I can't wait to hear your feedback on this series. Do you think we're gonna have some fun here? I mean, how could you not have fun when you drive a dirty old Landini in this stupid little animal trailer? Can't imagine putting a cow in this thing. I hope we get a chance to do that at some point because I think that'll just be hilarious. Okay, yeah, so it's $1,000 for 2 basically. If we spent $5,000 and got ourselves 10 of the larger cows right now, or sheep, and then we spent a couple bucks and maybe got ourselves like 5 of the, or 6 of the, or maybe 10 of the younger sheep, then it's going to be months before anybody, before there's any kind of, I was going to say respawning, regeneration, birthing, reproducing, I guess is the word. So we don't have to worry about, hitting capacity or anything like that and having to make decisions. But anyways, maybe that's a good idea, because then when we wake up in the next episode, if there's a contract that we could maybe it's a cultivating contract and we can go grab a small cultivator and suffer through that, then that's good, because I think we're just, these small scale contracts are really what's going to feed us right at the beginning here. Because if you think about it, I guess what we could do is we could bail up our yard and then sell some bales if we wanted. They're not going to be worth very much, but at least there's some money there. And so between whatever the sheep give us for wool contracts and then whatever we can do with our grass, that'll be good. I can't put a silage pit in. I can't put a fermenting silo in. I've got to wrap my bales, so that requires investment of which we're not probably going to make right away. So anyways, that's kind of the crux of that whole thing. Oh, kind of forgot what I was doing there for a second. I forgot I got the ladies in the back. All right, let's go, girls. Hang on. I got a water jug in the way now, so hopefully that doesn't cause us any problems. Okay, so there's 4 in there now. So it'll be 3 more trips plus whatever I want in smaller ones. So let me get a couple of those trips done, and then we will probably have our closing remarks while we watch the sheep frolic in their new pens. Okay, that's a bit of work. That drive is not at 35 kilometers an hour. It's not super fast, anyways. But so we're down to $8,400. We have, so I got 10 of the older sheep, and I got 6 of the 3-month-old. So they're the ones in there jumping around right now, like a bunch of morons. All right, so we're just gonna get a little bit more water in there. I'm assuming that we're going to see the grass grow overnight, and maybe we'll start to see some meadow grass available for them. But for now, they have the 3 little stingy bales, I guess. I gotta watch that, actually. I'm gonna make sure there's some food. I don't know how fast these guys are gonna go through whatever resources I get my other guy. He's just jumping. It's like, man, this is way better than being at the stockyard. So I don't know whether at some point we do something about this driveway here. It would be nice maybe to embed some of those, some of the like concrete slabs into the ground. Oh, this is not going to work well. Let's get up the hill. Yeah, we'll go this way. The yard itself is not going to work with this weight on the back here. I can't put a heavier weight on the front of the tractor. Really what I should be doing is probably doing 1,500 liters of water at a time and not filling this up to the full 2,000. Although how would I impress my new sheep children with my fancy driving? Look at me go. God. I didn't see it trigger me to fill the water. Does that mean that they're full? They're full. They haven't drank anything. Oh, there you go. That just felt like a lot of work. Okay, so how much food do we actually have here, guys? Okay, we have 1,800 liters of food. No meadow. Hey, what's up, dudes? Anyways, okay, so that's it, guys. We're on the map now. We're saving Uncle Pete from whatever it is we have to save him from. We don't know yet, or maybe we will never know. But yeah, that's this is our home for the next little while. I hope you enjoyed the start of it. I think I did. I had some laughs. These guys are hilarious. But we have some life around the farm now, which is cool. These guys will start making some wool for us. Those little guys are just going to jump around, and we'll see what kind of contract hell we got to live through tomorrow. All right. So with that, I appreciate everything, guys. Thanks so much, and we'll see you later.